I'm surrounded by big old houses that have history. I can tell you stories about every family that has lived around me. This house was built in the early 1800s by a Captain Alexander Palmer Weeks. He was a whaling captain. So this house has been on this lot for almost 200 years. I grew up in this house. It belonged to my grandparents starting in the 1930s. About 4 years ago, I moved back here full-time myself. I loved living on Main Street. I love the milieu. I loved speaking with people and waving to people. Yeah, you! It's what you would call Greek architecture in the front. I've also been told that the porch doesn't belong there if it were going to be true to the Greek style, but I love the porch. A white exterior and the dark green shutters are traditional. I've always assumed that this is the historic district, and I've treated the house as if it's in the historic district. I wouldn't do anything to the house that I wouldn't want my neighbors to do. You know, so I've tried to keep it in the style of the neighborhood.
Edgartown used to be mostly, other than the captain's houses, used to be small cape, we call them cape houses, or the beautiful small cottages with the big porch in front. Things that stood up to the weather. The smaller and the more compact, the more you could heat your house. But that's most of New England was the same way. It was sensible. My house isn't. It was my father's house, a little ranch house with bunk beds, and we all grew up here. It has, high ceilings, and it uses up a little more heat. The street has been here, obviously, for a long time, and the little cottages and houses were all basically 100 years old or more. The fishermen shared their fish with you, the farmers shared their crops with you. Everybody had little porches, and you sat out. But you could see the water from everywhere. And now, of course, as the new houses are going up, you can't see the water at all anymore. The town is historic. Not just one street or one small section, but that everything that was part of town and the people that were townspeople is historic. And you're only 3 blocks from Main Street, and that's what I love about it. And that's what I love about this little street, is we're just a few blocks to town, but we're not in the town. We're just sitting there, sort of watching the town.